chemicals! What could be worse than a giant broken skill?
Oh, I know! 2 giant broken skills!
No! Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, friends. Virtual Archivist TaikunZ here, back with another Unison League update video for the Japanese version. So let's see what's in store for this week. So I know what you're thinking, and yes, I didn't cover this new event last week, and it's because a day after this release in Japanese Unison League, it also appeared in Global, so we basically got it at the same time. But yeah, so to those that are not up to speed, there's lightning speed quest that was unintentional with Yuri. So Yuri is the light monster, and then we have the treasure spawn with Alice and Tourbillon. So I checked both versions, and there's no difference between Alice and Tourbillon and Yuri between global and Japanese versions. So yeah, there's no like additional benefits like from Baphomet. Turns out that in global version, Baphomet has Kijin and stuff. So yeah, there's nothing like that on the global version. I showed this last time on my live stream of the Japanese Unison League April Fools, but I figured I have to properly explain her on this video. So this is the creation monster Cyan Maris. Every year they create a monster live with the audience that participated in their anniversary event. Last year it was Garo, and then last year it was Croit, and then last year it was Simone. So yeah, she's water element, and then she has the following stats. And then here are the following skills. So notable things on her skill set is the strong confusion, which is a becoming trend in Japanese Unison League. This means she confuses and adds like 3 stacks of confusion right away. Then she also has Private Unison. And then she has Twilight, the same effect as Demon Cecilia. And to add to that, she has Fire Unison Lock, just like Peach. And then she's one of those rare monsters to have a passive skill, just like Erd and Verdandi, but they're reforgeable monsters instead of Enlightened monsters. This time, the skill is boost stats of water monsters by 20%. To add to that, she has potentials of 10k stat slots for both slots, and then adds 25 cost. So now it's Lana's turn to be Enlightened among the Jewel of the 7 Dragons. Remember in the April Fools event where they had a story involving the Jewel of the 7 Dragons, wherein Lana thinks it's unfair that Natasha got Enlightened and stuff? They didn't add Regal's Enlightenment at the time yet because they were thinking of global, and Regal's Enlightenment isn't released yet on the global version. But on the Japanese version, she already has her Enlightenment. So now it's Lana's turn. Oh yeah, you can find that story page at the wiki, along with the rest of the stories from the April Fools event. So yeah, that's Fury Ruby Lana, 42 cost, same stats as Natasha, and then she has the following skills. So what's notable for her? She has the Ruby Dragon Scars, which is basically the fire version of the Sapphire Dragon Scars. Increases fire unison damage ability powered by 40 and reduces wind unison damage ability powered by 80. And then she has a passive effect, which is boost stats of fire monsters by 10% when equipped in a main slot. So what are the requirements? Here's the following requirements. It's pretty much the same as Enlightened Natasha. Requires the Ruby Dragon Crystal, 2 UR Lanas, 1 Crimson Spirit Orb, and then these are the stuff that you get from the missions: Large Jewel of Enlightenment, Azure Sky Note, and Fire Medal. Oh, I'm blocking the way of the Fire Medal and all. There we go. Oh, there! It showed up! So, look. So they have this feature now in the lobby where everyone can be a JoJo reference. So it only affects certain UR monsters, and I'm guessing due to like copyright stuff, when they like do live shows involving Unison League, they don't allow collab monsters to affect that. So it's not something you can set in the settings. It only randomly appears at the lobby. So it only works for the main slot monster, by the way. Yeah, you just wait for it. Someone has Bird there, and then there's Vega. So yeah, it works. I was waiting for like Merlin to pop up. So Ateam finally remembered that their main series of Super United Defense quests isn't over yet, and we're missing one more element. So if you remember, these are the main Super United Defense quests. We have Fire with Mitama, Water with Grand Yeti, Wind with Asahime, Light with Harpia, Dark with Ortaiga, and Time Element with Zagok. So now we have Star. Star Element monster's name is Ethernova, and it has the same stats as Zagok because the rest of the elements are already way outdated as it is. I mean, these stats and cost are already outdated for the meta standards of the current game. So yeah, we now have Ethernova, and these are the following skills that they make. Oh, and if you're wondering why the drop down now for the notices, I'll answer that on the last segment of this video. And here are the following potentials. As with like the Super United Defense stuff, it comes with a series of weapons and defense gear. Remember the ones that... What was the slogan again there? Oh yeah. When you want to try these bad boys out. And that's because they have like extra elemental damage towards their element. So these are the star element versions for them. As you see, the cost and stats are also way outdated now because this has been way long overdue of a release. At least we have cool half masks once again. So these are the stuff that you need for the box spawn and the item exchange. Looks way too much like a gem, conspicuous. So let's head on over to the game and check it out. So here's the quest. Let's see here. These are the ones that boost you for bonuses if you have them. Let's try 30. Oh yeah, let's check on the prestige first. It's pretty much the same prestige rewards as the previous Super United Defense quest if you're familiar with them. And it's pretty short, yeah, all the way to the Awakening Orb piece. Okay, let's go. Alright. There's one other player with me. Oh, I'm still on Metro Shopper set. There it is. Oh, I expected like monster seems to be still humanoid, but with like multiple hands. Oh, it heals. It heals a lot. Yikes. Okay, I need to use... I didn't expect that. I thought we were gonna be over soon. This reminds me of Cat Sit, wherein it stalls you really bad if you don't have enough DPS. It starves you of cost, and then you're pretty much done for by the time. Oh, there we go. Quest clear. And here's how the card bonuses look like. If you're wondering, what the hell was up with that intro, Tai? We're at that segment now for me to explain you the Enforcer series of monsters. As you see here, we start with the fire monster first, and then there's like 6 more silhouettes for the rest of the elements. This is gonna be a wild ride for the future of Unison League. So we start with the first Enforcer monster, which is Fran. And you're wondering, now there's 2 drop downs. It's because it has the Dun dun dun. 2 sets of skills. God, Unison League, why? So let me explain to you first the mechanics of the other charge state. So the first time you use this monster, it applies the other charge state to your character. So as you see here, once you have the other charge state, you'll have a blue Unison gauge. Once the Unison gauge is full, you're able to use the same monster but with the burst mode of it. So the burst skills only apply if you use it the second time. So the reason why they show like 2 of the same monsters here is to demonstrate that you can't apply the burst state to the second monster if this happened to be blocked by something. You can't transfer the burst state to the duplicate monster. It has to be on the same monster that you used the first time. So yeah, so here are the following skills for Ether Enforcer Fan. I mean Vermilion Enforcer Fan. So has a 4 times magic damage fire, 30% elevation, increase Unison gauge gains. Oh yeah, okay. So here we go. Something notable here is that it gives Unison gauge gains to all allies by 2 for 90 seconds, and then you also gain an additional Unison gauge gain by 3 for 40 seconds, which means you have 5 Unison gauge gains for like 40 seconds, and then for the remaining 50 seconds you have 2. And then has fire element to the allied field. So if you use her the second time successfully, you gain the following effects. You got fire elemental attack and defense, and then increases all stats, recovers 30 cost, has buff removal resistance. You get Kijin, you also get blessing, so these 2 at the same time, and then your enemy gets emaciated collapse. So you have fire element effect and then emaciated collapse. So as usual, this is a treasure spawn. She is the jackpot summoning scroll, and then the other jackpot involves treasure medals of those varying amounts. And then here are the other treasure box prizes. So one of them is a cost 28 or more SSR ticket, and these are the following monsters that you can get from said ticket. Feel free to pause to check each monsters. So let's move on to the game to see the animations and the spawn itself. So here's her. And then here are the following medal exchange. Once again, feel free to pause to check everything. And there. So some thoughts about this is, once again, the power creep is growing again on Unison League. And when I heard about this, I thought it was going to be something like entirely new. But it says here that it applies to yourself the Ether Charge state, which means there might be a monster in the future that can remove the Ether Charge state. They could introduce monsters like that as a counter to these monsters. So the last time it was the priority increasing monsters, now we have the dual skill monsters. Who knows what's in store in the future for Unison League? Probably like next year they introduce something more ridiculous. And that'll be all for this week in Japanese Unison League updates. I'll be resuming my streams right after this video, and will continue my playthrough of Resident Evil 3 Remake. So be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content, which includes these weekly Japanese Unison League updates. Like the video if you like what you saw, and that's it for now. I'll be seeing you later. TaikunZ, zoning out.